Good morning, good afternoon, and if you're coming home from working a long 9 to 5, hope you're having a great one as it brings you another edition of BodySlamNet's Talktagon. I am your host, Rami, as always, bringing you the best coverage. And there
Yep.
is Max, the absolute GOAT, the one and
Hey,
only, Arizona's number one. How are you doing, my friend?
fantastic, bro. We had the back-to-back Apex cards, so we came into them a little skeptical, but the fighters did their job, put on some pretty fun fights. We got a lot of finishes this weekend, and yeah, it was pretty competitive in the predictions too, which I love to see. Normally, Rami's beating my ass over here, showing me how it's done, but it was a little bit more of a level playing field this time around. So I can't complain about that either.
Can't complain at all. Last week we were not here for the other Apex card, which was headlined by David Onama and Steve Garcia in over in the featherweight division. Yeah,
Yep.
what a night that was because of course that was hold on one moment for post both chat out of send it to the group chat. We had ourselves a weird night because the week prior we had a UFC pay-per-view, our first one of October. I believe second one of October, whichever way it goes. But like it was a weird one because Tom Aspinall finally defends the heavyweight champion against Cyril Gane. Eye poke, happens,
Yep.
and then the pay-per-view's over. That's it. Like the worst of
That
the
was
worst
terrible.
happened. It was not a fun time to be alive, and we're wondering ourselves like, damn, that sucks. And then the following week, we get here this UFC fight night card at the Apex, where we had fights such as Talita Alansar against Ariane Carnelosi, uh, C. Cole against Philip Rowe, Alice Otterlin against Monserrat Ruiz, Norma Dumont against Ketlin Vieira, which was a wild one because of course we expected Ketlin Vieira to win that one, and then Norma Dumont walked away with the decision, and we are like, wow, that's crazy because Ketlin was
Yeah,
doing a lot of great work.
judging.
Uh,
Maybe they had a
Billy
bet.
Ele- Billy Elicana put down the underdog Kevin Christian with a huge rear naked choke.
Yeah, that was nasty.
Dante Johnson made his debut against Sajika Suma, got him with a ninja choke, put
Yeah,
him out.
easy work for
Um,
him.
we had three submissions in a row on the main card. Alan Nascimento defeated Cody Durden with the anaconda choke. Charles Radke, who we don't like, submitted Daniel Frunza with a rear naked choke. And then Yadier Del Valde submitted Isaac Dalgarian with a rear naked choke, which sparked a huge report and an investigation from the FBI on the UFC.
Yeah,
First reported by Harry Mack, a good friend of mine. Shout out Harry. Crazy, crazy stuff. A lot of fighters are trying to come at him and say that we're not involved with this, nada, nada, nada. But the MMA Factory Gym, or Factory X Gym,
mm.
was raided last week. All their phones were confiscated, even though they claim that that didn't happen. It surely did. There's been
Yeah,
a lot
he's
of fighters.
suspect.
Isaac Dolgarian was fired from the UFC. He was cut from the UFC. There's been a lot of stuff that's going on with this investigation,
Yeah,
and it made me heading into this new week with this UFC fight card that we covered this past weekend, made me wonder myself, what fight is gonna stop its pace? What fight is not gonna go go the way that they think it will? And who's gonna have the conversation, the comment of is this rigged? Is
yeah.
this not the fight that
Which
we're
ref is
looking
in on
forward
it?
to? Because like who is paid, who's not getting paid, who's in on this, who's not in on this. Because as we
Mm.
just recently saw with the MLB, Emmanuel Clase and Luis
Oh yeah,
Ortiz of the Cleveland Guardians, they've just been freaking indicted on this whole rigged games, rigged
yeah,
bets, rigged baseball. It sucks to see because NBA has to happen to the NFL, MLB, UFC.
yeah.
Like I told my little brother this like a week and a half ago. I was like, dude, it feels like the WWE or even professional wrestling is the only thing that feels non-scripted because when we
Mm.
watch the match, we're like, okay, maybe this might happen, and then we get a different result, and we're like, okay, I'm satisfied with that in some ways, but with the UFC, with MLB, with NBA, any of this stuff, when you see like your favorite player, who let's say like somebody's favorite player is Tony Snell, and we see every night him going like 0 points, zero rebounds, zero assists, zero blocks,
Yeah,
six
yeah.
personal fouls,
And the
28 minutes. like the Tony Snell stat line, and then all of a sudden, a few days later, he puts on like a 40-point game. We're thinking to ourselves, was that
Bro.
because you actually wanted to, or because you put a parlay on yourself to go and hit all those shots?
Yeah.
It
It's just
sucks.
sad, bro. It's in every sport, it seems like, and it doesn't seem like it's getting better. So hopefully we'll be able to, get this stuff to stop happening. I mean, it's so widespread, bro. It's like everyone has a fucking parlay on something, and it's just totally ruining some of these, the idea of these sports being, clean and no cheating being involved and throwing games, and it's just sad to see. I'm like, these guys, at least in the case of other sports, not in MMA, these guys are getting paid a lot. So I'm like, why are you even doing this? You already make so much money. But I mean, in MMA, they're not really making shit. So they're like, shit, I need a little extra money. So I mean, I understand why some fighters is having a rough time financially. Some guys come and take advantage of them, and next thing you know, they're kicked out of the entire UFC for giving the inside information and having these betting lines move in weird ways where that's going to get flagged, and then they're going to get punished, and and all of that for what was it, a few $1,000? Who knows? But it's sad to see, man. I see why sports betting was banned for so long. I mean, it seems like this shit was banned for a reason at this point, because it seems like it's easy to take advantage of, because there's always that plausible deniability unless it has these crazy lines where it's like, oh, I just had a bad night, had nothing to do with betting. But in reality, you could totally just, throw the game or throw the fight. So, I hate to see it.
You hate to see it. You really do hate to see it because like it makes you think like now all of a sudden someone's gonna probably bring up, yeah, Jeff Hoffman of the Toronto Blue Jays. Yeah, he threw that game to the Dodgers to win. I'll kill myself right here on camera. I'll end it all. I'll fucking do it. Like I do not. Like, if someone tells me, yeah, he's under investigation for, I'll do it.
For
Like
real, bro.
don't
How he
put
was
no
pitching,
asterisk on my World Series. Don't put no asterisk
Rojas took
on
care
my
of
World
it.
Series win.
He's
With
like, here's
speaking
a
of
light ball to you.
but speaking of, I'm so glad that, of course, you and I were rooting for the right team to win, the best team to
Yes,
win,
sir.
the great team to win. The Los Angeles Dodgers are the 2024 and 2025 World Series champions, the first back-to-back World Series champions since I was born, since
For real.
2000. My God,
That's
like my
crazy.
God, like the final time that there was a back-to-back World Series champion was the New York Yankees, where Derek Jeter was an absolute menace on that team, before they got
Yep.
A-Rod and whatnot, and they got back-to-back championships. But prior to that, in 1992 and 1993, it was the Toronto Blue Jays. Like it needed to come back to the West Coast, the best coast,
Yeah.
and the Los Angeles Dodgers took it over like a
The
goddamn
dynasty,
boss. So
baby.
congrats to Pajes, Kike Hernandez, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, everyone part of the Shohei Ohtani, like the GOAT
Yeah. The
Nobunaga
MVP.
Yamamoto, like
Go.
MVP, the Tommy Edman, Max Muncy, and the man who practically saved the game, in the very beginning, Miguel Rojas.
Big
Like
time, bro.
Miggy Rowe doing what he's got to do. Like my God,
Bro,
like
bro, that
I'm
homer was beautiful.
I'm still cheesing him every single day. Like I get to wake up and be like, man, I'm not from Toronto. Like God bless
For real,
America.
bro. That's tough for
But
them, bro.
tough for them, tough for them. But because I've dealt with a lot of shit talking last week. My best friend is Canadian, and every day of his life he's been like, the right team didn't win. I'm like, my God,
Blah,
shut
blah,
up.
blah.
Like, just be quiet, be quiet, be quiet,
Bro,
just be
that's like
quiet.
getting knocked out, and then you're like, well, I was the better fighter.
I was still a
Really?
better fighter. I had 6 good rounds better than him. He just got one lucky shot. Like, brother,
Come
doesn't matter. You get
on.
6 good rounds. You got cooked. Come on
Sorry,
now.
bro. It's all about
Um,
the end result.
but heading into the rest of this card, we had Jeremiah Wells show off his great wrestling against Themba Garimbo. Waldo
Yeah,
Cortez
that was
Acosta.
big.
Waldo Cortez Acosta was
Yeah,
finished. Eye poke all of a sudden happens. They say, "Oh, let's continue the fight," and then he lands a beautiful shot and knocks
yeah.
out Ante Delija.
That's fucked up, for real,
I didn't
bro.
think that. I didn't think that should have happened. I don't know, man. If we haven't had it happen before, these eye pokes and oh, the fight's called off. Oh no, the fight's back on. Oh, the fight's back in resume. That's just crazy. But then
Yeah,
Steve Garcia did land that beautiful knockout in the main event against David Onama. in the first round, 3 minutes deep into it, and killed him.
Yeah, easy
Chef
work.
kiss, easy work for him. And I could pull up the whole stats and whatnot for it, but you know what I mean. Like it was last week. These Apex
Oh,
cards feel
yeah.
so long. I'm glad I could pick up the win, but I was also like just very tired and drawn out because I believe it was happening also in the midst of the World Series. I don't know if
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
like there was so much going on. I was so dead tired. But then we head into this new card. And I'm glad that I had the right graphic right up right now. We
Yes,
kicked things. Okay,
sir.
so
We're on top of it.
before we do head into it, a welterweight bout between former LFA welterweight champion Gabriel Bonfim and Randy Brown headlined this event. They're originally scheduled to compete a few weeks ago, actually a month before at UFC Fight Night, Charles Oliveira and Mateus Gamrot, but the bout was moved to this in order to serve as the main event. Austin Bashi was expected to face Jamal Emmers in a featherweight bout at the event. However, Bashi pulled out of the fight and was replaced by Haider Emil, who was a featured headliner for the prelims. A women's bantamweight bout between Luana Santos and Daria's I don't know how to say her last name, sorry, was scheduled for this event. However, the girl with the last name I can't pronounce withdrew from the fight for unknown reasons and was replaced by Melissa Croden. The rescheduled bout between Santos and Croden was later moved to December. For December 13th, we will have a flyweight headliner between Brandon Royval and Manel Cape. I think that is
Banger.
a scary freaking fight. But because
Yeah.
Brandon Royval, we saw what he did, against Joshua Van. He wanted to kill him, but he just took so much damage. Manel
Yeah.
Cape is a freaking scrappy dog, so that should be a very fun one.
Yeah, I'm hyped for that one.
A bantamweight bout between, of course, Miles John and Daniel Marcos is scheduled for this event and happened. Johns was initially booked to face fellow former LFA champion Marin Gafarov 1 week prior, but Gafarov withdrew for undisclosed reasons. Meanwhile, Marcos was slated to fight Felipe Lima for the November 22nd Tursurkian Hooker Gothard event until Lima also withdrew. Following both cancellations, they were scheduled for this event, and this is where we saw them compete against each other. Well, Marcos, wow.
Yeah.
We were also supposed to have a bantamweight bout between Adrian Yanez and Christian Quinones. Quinones was scheduled for this event. However, Christian pulled out due to unknown reasons, and the bout was subsequently canceled. Robert Valentine was scheduled for this event against, of course, Jackson McKee. Then undefeated prospect Dante Johnson, who won last week, was considered as a replacement, having competed a week earlier at the Garcia
Yeah, that's
Onama
impressive.
event. However, they declined it because of he was under a 2 week medical suspension. I don't know
Yeah,
what the
that'd be
suspension
crazy.
was needed for, but
It
you
was
know what I
easy
mean.
work.
But like, exactly. And then we
They don't
had
want to see him win.
Ismail Bonfim went over the 5 pound limit and was fined 25% of his purse, which went to Chris Padilla later on the main card, which we will get into soon. But kicking off the card, we had Zachary Reese against Jackson McKee, both guys coming in at 195 pounds for catch weight because of the short notice. And wow, Jackson McKee, at some point I thought Jackson was going to win this fight.
Yeah.
Nicknamed the Moose. He went in there and was throwing body strikes, blows, elbows. He got Zachary Reese up against the cage and was like landing these elbows. It was so scary. Zachary Reese's eyebrow was chunked off. I was like, oh my God, this might be the end. A takedown happened in the end, and I was like, oh, but Jackson got the upper hand on that one.
Yeah. It was looking like it.
He gassed out. Once I saw someone tweet out he looked tired, I said, don't say that. And then when he got taken down twice, I was like, fuck. Got his back taken, the choke sinked in, and Zachary Reese picks up the win from a rear naked choke. Jackson McKee was visibly emotional after the fight, the fight game for us. The thrill and the agony of all of this.
100%.
Zachary Reese picks up the big win here, and he also got a performance of the night bonus for just that beautiful, beautiful comeback and choke in the second round. What were your thoughts on Zachary Reese's big win here to open up the card?
Like you were saying, I was definitely worried for my pick because I picked Reese on this one, and McVeigh came out, throwing bombs and really had him look like a little bit wobbled even at a few points. And we've seen Reese be knocked out before in the UFC twice already. So both of his losses were by that method. So I'm thinking, are we about to see Jackson get this KO? But somehow, some way, he was able to stick it through to the second round, and then he was able to get that rear naked choke in and really, find some of his shots better. So huge win for him. I was definitely worried at the beginning, but he clutched up and got it done. And that's a pretty solid win for him. He's had a little bit of bad luck where he fought Seducas Dumas, and then he had that whole nut kick debacle where Dumas couldn't
I know.
continue.
Crazy timing. Timing.
So thankfully he was able to complete a fight this time around and got the win. Solid fight. I was impressed by both guys, honestly. It was a straight scrap all the way through. So, you got to love that.
You gotta love that. The only thing that I have a takeaway from this fight is that I believe Jackson McKee needs to work on that ground game very, very much.
Yeah.
He can finish the fight in the first round when he gets into his rhythm and groove. But the thing is, once he gets taken to the ground, we've seen now back-to-back fights.
Yeah.
He almost got taken out with submission again, but submission armbar. First fight, armbar. Second fight, almost an armbar, but instead, transitioned into the rear naked choke in the second round.
Yeah.
And
not a great
finished him. Like, it's not a good look for him. It's not looking nice for him, especially in the division where things are moving quite a lot every single week. That's my only takeaway from McKee. I think that he should get another opportunity in the UFC to be able to, because he did good. Zachary Reese was almost down on his back and out of the fight.
Yeah.
But of course, Zach is so tough. But
right.
I believe one of his, of course, training partners or coaches, that might be his girlfriend or wife. And I saw that the kiss that they had before that, and I was like, I'm like, every time you have a loved one, watching you in a fight, it's always a scary situation because you don't want to, you don't want to fail in front of anybody. Exactly. So when I saw him getting pummeled in the corner with all those elbows and it chunked up his face, and he's just literally profusely bleeding, I'm like, my God, he's gonna find some way to bounce back in some type of way of form, because you got your family and loved ones around you. And all of a sudden, that second round came in and he just landed that spine buster takedown, and he took his back, got him in the freaking rear naked choke, and Jackson McKee was just gassed out. That gas tank has to be worked on. He needs to be preserving his energy because he's got a lot of power. You step in with him in that brawl, he's gonna take off your chin. But if he's gassed out and you can just duck one of those big hooks and take him down, he's not getting back up. And so that's what he needs to mainly work on.
Yeah.
And of course, focus on by a big margin. After that, but of course, congrats to you picking up that big win in the first one. I had McKee winning. You had Zachary Reese, and then you said, "God, don't screw me now." And my goodness.
I had a parlay going, had to get the refs involved, had McVeigh throw for me, no big deal.
Especially with all these ready fights, my God, you're going to make them believe you.
Bro, if they're listening, that was a joke, guys, okay? That was a
joke. Second fight was the bantamweight division. Miles John stepping in, the vet Miles John against Daniel Marcos. First round felt like too much of Marcos' style. Takedowns, those heat kicks, and getting things into his form and fashion. Second round came in, he got the takedown, slipped up the back and everything, and just got the submission choke, rear naked choke in the second round, with 4 minutes and 23 seconds on the dot. Crazy one. Daniel Marcos is a freaking killer. My goodness, the way that he's been fighting so far has been really, really dominant. We haven't seen him lose since, of course, his last fight, which was this past May. But even then, it didn't really feel like a loss for him because he's just back into his form, back into the way he needs to be. Adrian Yanez was a victim of his. John Castellana was a victim.
Yeah.
He had that groin kick that was in, last year that, went to the no contest. But besides that, David Grant, Salman Oliveira, Brandon Lewis, were all, victims of his since 2022.
Yeah, not a bad resume.
Not a bad resume at all. He's got, since 2023, he's now gotten 2 finishes in the Octagon. Maybe this might be a big push for him because a lot of people were predicting knockout. No one predicted submission. No one saw a submission coming.
Definitely not me. Yeah.
That was his first submission of his entire career out of 20 fights. That was his first submission win ever. So good on of course, good on Daniel Marcos. As per Miles John, for him, that's now 3 losses in a row. He lost.
Tough.
He lose to Daniel Marcos this past weekend. Jean Matsumoto, Felipe Lima. The last win he had was last year in June with Alex Perez fought Tatsuro Tada. He fought Douglas Silva de Andre, beat him. Cody Gibson beat him. Had a no contest with Dan Orguera. Vince Morales, he beat him. He lost to John Castaneda, who what a name to fit into this and everything after
Yeah.
Daniel Marcos beat him. Anderson Dos Santos was a knockout win. Kevin Natavar was a knockout win. Mario Batista knocked him out. Cole Smith, he's been in the UFC since 2019, and it feels like the last 3 fights have been his very much toughest challenges. Even though
Hmm.
these guys are very young, these guys are
Yeah.
very young
He has a
fighters.
tough schedule, honestly.
So it's been a tough schedule for him fighting off the youth, and the youth
Yeah,
really
lots
have
of up and comers.
lots of up and comers that have been against him, and he cannot beat the rookie experience, being a gatekeeper essentially or a veteran in that style. What were
Hmm.
your thoughts on Daniel Marcos picking up this win? I'm gonna turn on my camera quickly to close my blinds, but go on.
Yeah, you got it, bro. Yeah, I was really impressed with Marcos. Coming into the fight, I thought that maybe Johns would have the advantage on the ground. We've seen him, have success, but honestly, Marcos was able to do pretty much whatever he wanted in there. And, Johns put up a solid fight, but I think Marcos was a much better fighter on the day. And the fact that he's able to, get these new submissions into his arsenal and actually start finishing things with the submissions, and I think he's just going to be more and more dangerous. And he looked pretty huge in there for this division. So, I mean, he definitely had the size advantage, I feel like. And he was able to put it to good use. So if he's able to keep rounding out his game, he's going to keep improving, So I'm excited to see what happens next for him. Only one loss in the UFC, 5-1 now, and that no contest. So not a bad resume whatsoever. So he's building that up pretty nicely. He's only been in here since 2023. He's only made his debut and already putting on some solid performances. He's 32 years old, so he's not the youngest guy, but still some time for him to keep moving up these rankings because this is a solid win, solid performance, and we'll see what happens next for him.
We'll definitely see what happens next for him. Another thing about with Daniel Marcos is that just the way he's rising through his rankings. Bantamweight is a very, very exciting division. We've
Yeah.
seen flyweight get this big, amp up. We've seen bantamweight get this big amp up. The lower, lighter divisions.
Yeah, the little guys always put on a show.
The little guys are always killing it in some type of way or fashion. So it's very fun to see. Let me get that repost. So I'm very, very excited to see what happens with Daniel Marcos next, because after that win, he could very well fight next month if he wanted to. One of those later, fight nights in December. He could definitely get himself onto that card.
Didn't take much.
Our next fight is the women's strawweight action. Tisha, formerly known as Tisha Torres, but of course, Tisha Pennington, married to Raquel Pennington, the former bantamweight champion.
Yeah,
Denise
power couple.
Gomes, exactly. She fought Denise Gomes. And Denise Gomes has been just very, very dominant with that. Her striking is crisp, and her wrestling has been very, very good. Her clinch work, getting people against the cage, kneeing them, landing that beautiful crisp jab. Just the way that she works herself is really nice, and it's nice to see that how much she's overcome and how much she's tried to dominate in this division. For example, her last fight in May was a win over Elise Reed by TKO. She fought Karolina Kowalkiewicz, beat her. Eduardo Mora, she beat her. Her last loss was to Angela Hill in 2023. I believe Angela Hill fights this upcoming weekend, so that'll be very, very exciting to see.
Legend right there.
Exactly. Yasmin Yodagai lost by TKO in 2023. Bruna Brazil lost by TKO. The only people to defeat Denise Gomes in the past couple of years was Angela Hill and Loma Lookboomia. Prior to that, she's knocked out her opponents, she's put them down, and now on a 4-fight win streak, she's looking really good for herself. Especially she's the number 13 ranked in the women's strawweight division, and I feel like you should probably just boost her right into that top 7, top 6 to see what's next for her, because when I look at the ranking right now for the women's strawweight, she is number 13. Above her is Angela Hill, Amanda Ribas, Jillian Robertson, Jessica Andrade, Tabitha Ritchie, Iceman Lucindo, Lupi Godinez, Amanda Lemos, Jan Zanaunen, Verna Jandaroba, who just lost, and Tatiana Serrara is currently tied for that number one spot with Zhang Guiley, who fights this upcoming weekend and might not even be in the rankings for the women's, strawweight division if she could find some way somehow to defeat Valentina Shevchenko, who
Yeah.
is the old like both women are the ultimate bosses. But it feels like Valentina is always that step up ever since Amanda
Yeah.
Nunes, of course, retired. And Amanda Nunes wants to come back. She wants to fight before the White House card against Kayla Harrison. Like, God damn, the women have some very, very interesting, deep stories to them.
Yeah.
I want to come back and I want to dominate. And then the guys are like, hey, bets,
Yeah,
bets.
exactly,
Like,
bro. They'll be
yeah,
like, how much can I make off the parlay?
exactly. But of course, big, big win for Denise Gomes, who picks it up over Tisha
Yeah.
Pennington. What were your thoughts on her victory here?
Yeah, it was a solid performance. Nothing too crazy, but definitely dominated the whole fight. Definitely, I agree with the judges, 30-27 all the way through. Pennington was just not really able to get much going, and Gomes was pretty much controlling the fight. So, got to give her the W. Nothing too crazy, though, but definitely is a fun fighter and a dangerous fighter. So I see why Pennington was, not trying to get too close to her, because she has some major power, especially for that strawweight division. So, and that division, it has a new champion, Mackenzie Dern. So, things are kind of wide open. And hey, the GOAT, Randy.
Crank
How
it
you doing,
on.
Randy? We miss you.
We miss you, man. But
Yeah, but yeah, solid
I,
performance from Gomes. It's like I could see this division, having a lot of changes coming if Zhang actually decides to stay up because she was dominating for so long. It's like shit. Now it's wide open. I don't think Dern will be as dominant. No disrespect to Dern, but Zhang is kind of like a once in a while type of champion where she just reigns for a while. But maybe Dern will prove me wrong, but that's just what I'm thinking.
perhaps, but it's a very interesting division, especially with Mackenzie Dern as the women's strawweight champion. She's gonna have to deal with a lot. Like if Zhang Weili loses, this weekend, let's say that happens, then she's going right back to the championship.
Yeah, then that'd be a little
She's gonna be
scary.
three-time champion, dude. Like that's gonna be all hers right there. And I think
Yeah,
Mackenzie Dern is gonna have to work on that, like the striking, because if she can, get to the fifth round and her striking is gassed out, then oh my goodness, it's gonna be a
yeah,
long night. Because
yeah.
we know
Much
how Zhang
better.
Weili works. Zhang
Mm-hmm.
works all freaking 25 minutes, so she does not care.
100%.
Jan Zanaunen is still a pretty, sketchy person in the division because, like,
She
she can
also has some
dominate.
power.
She has a lot of power, and she could truly take off anyone's chins. Lupi Godinez, Amanda Lemos, like Tabitha Ritchie. There's a lot of women in that division that can very well get into that top three, challenge for Mackenzie Dern's championship, and give her a really good fight. Um, so of course, heading out
Mm-hmm.
of that, Denise Gomes, we pick up the big win there. Josh Hogan beats Max Jimenez by knockout in the first round. Then Josh Hogan does a call out for Walter Walker. I'm not doing my recap for this fucking fight.
Yeah.
He can go fuck himself for all I care.
Does his
Like
little Chael impersonation,
his
dressing up
just
as Chael for
his
Halloween.
chill son plagiarism, and it's funny too because like Chael Sonnen, I'm not giving any defense to this female fighter. Ronda Rousey, he goes on the Ariel Helwani show and he'll trash Ronda Rousey, say she's not number one, she's not there, she's not that, she's never done anything big in the UFC. Josh Hogan does a plagiarism of the whole Chael Sonnen, doing, which is funny because it's not even a Chael Sonnen promo. It's superstar Billy Graham from 1977 of WWF, the Worldwide Wrestling Federation. Like that's what
Where's
superstar
his
Billy Graham
credit?
was like. And then Chael Sonnen starts using, and he's like, "Yeah, man, this is all me, brother." You get to say professional wrestling gave you, a little bit of a boost for
Well, give a
promos.
little
It,
credit.
it's not bad. Superstar Billy Graham's the dude. Like my God, but like
So
I don't understand the pressure, the hype behind. Hey guys, I'm gonna put into a category of all the worst human beings. Rapists, understandable. Child predators, understandable. Murderers, understandable. Traffickers, understandable. Transgender people, Like,
Yeah.
how you gonna
Right.
put how you gonna put them how you gonna put them with all those other people who are doing the most worst fucking things possible, and then
Yeah.
say, I'm gonna teach them a lesson
I'm like,
of
bro,
what?
why are you so worried about everyone's freaking genitalia, bro? Maybe focus on
Like
your own, bro.
people need to understand that you need to just go fuck yourself if you're gonna go
Real,
and do
bro.
this
As
type of
you can
stuff. Like,
see, we're praying on his downfall. We both picked Jimenez. Unfortunately, he didn't get it done for us, but maybe
like
Walter Walker will.
I did this for Greg Hardy. I'll do this for everybody else. Like, I don't care if you show signs of being a freaking massive piece of shit. I don't
For
care
real,
who
bro.
you are. You could show up to my front door. I don't fucking care. Like, my God, like, go right ahead. You want to know my address? It's like, my God, it's
For real,
redacted
bro.
on this on redacted road. So get yourself fixed, buddy.
So maybe it was wishful
But
thinking with Jimenez, but I thought maybe he could get it done. He had a nice leg kick early, but that was about
that was it.
it.
But moving past it, he called up Walter Walker. Let's go, Walter Walker. Let's
Yeah,
go right ahead.
add another
But
freaking heel to the list.
exactly. But moving on, women's bantamweight division, Jacqueline Cavalcanti fought Mayra Bueno Silva, and this was the fight that Jacqueline was looking forward to. She wanted to stuff a bunch of takedowns, and she wanted to land her beautiful jab right, over and over and over again. And Jacqueline's been doing very good work.
Yeah, she's a beast.
Cavalcanti, of course, number 10 ranked in the bantamweight division. She has not lost since the PFL Challenger Series in 2022. That was her
Yeah,
last loss
she's
to
a monster.
Marina Jindarova. Like, before that, she beat Nora Connolly, Jacqueline Casarigo, which is funny, two Jacquelines fighting each other, but one's named differently. Spelled Jacquelin. Like, what a way to spell Jacqueline! Like, wild. But she beat Yulia Kutsenko, Nadia Melchenko, Melissa Croden, Zara Farim, Josiane Nunez, Nora Connolly again, and Julia Avila, and now Mayra Bueno Silva. She beats them all of them almost all of them by decision. The only fight she had with a finish was in 2022. That was the last finish, back-to-back finishes with the elbows. Since then, she's been, very much conserving her energy, making sure
Yeah,
that if she has to go to a fourth round and fifth round, that her opponent is already beaten up and she could get the finish right then and there. But she's been doing great work, 7 decisions in a row, just phenomenal. Mayra Bueno Silva, of course, she always
yeah,
is
rough.
she's a dog, but it's just been so rough for her in the last couple of fights. Losing
Yeah,
to Jacqueline Cavalcanti, losing to Jasmine Vicious, losing to Missy Kiation, losing to Raquel Pennington, having
yeah,
a
for the
no contest
title.
against Holly Holm. Exactly. Losing to Holly Holm in that no contest for that main event in 2023. Her last win was in 2023 against Lena Landsberg, Stephanie Egger, and Wu Yanao. No, like
Yeah, that's pretty
Yanao Wu
crazy.
even. Like, those were the last 3 wins, which was submissions and decision. And since then, she has not been able to pick up anything. Prior to that, it was like Manon Farrow beat her. All right, she's still moving up. She's fighting all these talent. Now she's on a goddamn 3-fight losing streak. Well, practically almost 4-fight losing streak
Yeah.
if you count the Holly Holm one, because they hold on. Yeah, it was originally a submission win for Breno Silva but she tested positive for acid. That's a funny ass fucking thing to get, like, you were on acid in that fight or something
Dude,
like
was
that.
tripping
Like,
balls mid fight.
like, that's like I'm thinking. I see acid. I'm like, whoa, like,
Damn, bro.
what the fuck is going on
That's
here?
wild.
Like,
She's like, sorry,
no,
bro. I threw the fight.
she's probably still on an acid trip, like tripping balls over there. Like, every
I
fight,
was
she's like,
going
I
Corey
can't do this.
Sandhagen mode.
Sandhagen does acid.
Bro, yes, you haven't seen that video? Oh my gosh, it's funny. You'll have to watch
you
it after.
you gotta send me it. But of course, Jacqueline Cavalcanti picks up a big win here. Decision, unanimous, 30-27 on two
Yeah.
judge scorecards, 29-28 on the last one.
Easy
What were your
work.
thoughts on her? What's your thoughts on her improving every single fight?
Yeah, another great win, and she didn't really have to put it in second gear. Really, she was just able to do her thing most of the time, defend the takedowns, keep it at her distance, and Brena Silva really wasn't able to get going at all. It's tough to see Brena Silva kind of have this little fall off where she came in really promising, getting some crazy submissions, but ever since that acid incident, I guess she's been having a bit of a struggle. And, she could have been champion against Raquel Pennington, but underperformed there. And then it's been downhill ever since. And she definitely has been having some tough matchups, don't get me wrong, but she hasn't not really, looked that well in those fights. So it's a tough run for her right now. I'm not sure really what's going to happen to her next. She's now 5-6 in the UFC, 1 draw and 1 no contest, so she's below 500. That's definitely not good to see. So, I'm not sure where she goes from here, but as for Raquel, as for Jacqueline Cavalcante, huge name on her resume, probably the best one on her resume right now. So she should get another step up and, see how she can handle the best of the best, because at this point, may as well see what happens, because she's just been looking so good and comfortable in these fights. Let's see her in a bit more of a challenge.
I agree with you. She definitely does need to step up in that challenge, and I would love to see what happens next for her, because in the division she is, of course, women's bantamweight. When we go and look at that of course ranking, she is the number 10 ranked, as they say right now. She got up to the number 10, taking Mayo Brenda Silva's spot. She has Carol Rosa, Eileen Perez, Macy Chiasson, Irene Aldana, Yana Santos, Ketlin Vieira, Norma Dumont, Raquel Pennington, Juliana Pena, and Kayla Harrison, the champion, ahead of her. What a division it is, because of course I don't think Raquel gets back to the championship picture, but that's just my opinions. Norma Dumont can still, of course, find a way there. Ketlin Vieira, I'm shocked that Ketlin's not gotten a title shot, sooner, because of course she's been dominating the scene. Yolanda Santos has turned it up a notch with with the way she's fighting lately. She's been turning up a notch by huge. Irene Aldana, everyone's absolute favorite. You watch her fight, you see how bloody and crazy she gets. She's a dog. Eileen Perez has been making a lot of enemies, whether she's throwing ass or beating her opponent, then throwing ass, like it's just twerking on him all the fucking time. But
bro, going Levitt style, the dude who
Jordan Levitt, the Monkey King, the Monkey King himself. But like you see this stuff like from this division. There's so many interesting names. I want to see Cavalcante against Eileen Perez next. I might as well make that a main event. Make that a main event for both women. Let them both test themselves in a 5-round aspect.
That'd be a good matchup.
It would definitely be a very fun matchup too. And then you could Irene Aldana against Yana Santos if you want to go and do like some like one-on-ones, like between the number 10, number 9, number 8, number 7 rank and everything.
It's kind of held up right now with the whole Nunes thing, so
exactly,
may as well get these contenders fighting.
Nunes is starting knocking on the door like, hey, I'm back in. I'm back in.
Like, don't you dare schedule anyone else. This is my freaking division. I was just on hiatus. So hopefully they can get that made, because I want to see Kayla versus Nunes before they get too old.
Our next fight, we went against each other here. It was
so you got Ricky one back Simone on me.
And Ricky Simone and Rayoni Barcelos. I went with Barcelos mainly because I saw him shut down Peyton Talbot, and I saw him beat Cody Garbrandt, and I was like, okay, this guy's got a chin. Ricky has always got a freaking hand on him, and he's always got a good chin. And the way that he lands his blows, anyone can go down. Yeah. But I'm so determined that Barcelos can pick up the win here. And my goodness, he had another great performance from him. Yeah. The bantamweight division is becoming very scary with guys like him who are pretty old. They're pretty old in the division.
38. And he's not a young man.
Exactly. He's 38 years old, and I don't even see him here at the rankings at all. Like, he's nowhere near the rankings. When is he gonna get a ranked opponent?
Yeah, bro, the disrespect.
Like, his next fight should obviously be against Rob Font, because he's a number 12 ranked. Or he can't even fight Henry Cejudo. Cejudo's already planning his retirement with the Peyton Talbot fight. I'm like,
for real. I know it's tough. Talbot's getting rewarded, but Barcelos isn't even ranked. It's a little bit crazy. I mean, I'm a fan of Talbot, so I'm not mad at it. But Barcelos, 4 wins in a row. How much more can the man do?
Yeah, one fighter that was about to be like the number 3 ranked was Marcus McGee. Like, Marcus McGee fought Petr Yan, who's a number 3 ranked, a couple months ago. And if he would have won, he would have been number 3 ranked. There would have been a huge scramble in the division. People would have been so fucking scared and fucked up. There's another name as well, Ayman Zahabi, who just beat Marlon Chito Vera. He's a number 7 ranked. And so I feel like he could even be very well next in line for Sean O'Malley. Winner of that could even push themselves in the title picture, because we're still waiting for Umar Nurmagomedov to rack up another win and really prove that he belongs in that title picture.
Yep.
Sanhagen lost. Petr Yan is scheduled for next month. Sean O'Malley lost. Song Yadong is still waiting around the picture. Davison Figueiredo, I believe he picked up a recent win, or I believe so. I
Yeah,
feel
I
like he
believe
did.
so, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
picked up a
beat
win.
Montel Jackson dominant fashion.
Yeah, Montel Jackson he beat, and everything. Everyone was like, "Oh, the Montel Jackson hook and jab is gonna really kill him." Thankfully, Davison Figueiredo, channeled that, inner anger of his and got that big win.
Yeah,
But
I mean it is a stacked division, but come on.
it's a very stacked division, and you add like Raymond Barcelos into it, who's 38 years old, brother.
Yeah, he doesn't have
He's
much time.
he doesn't have much time left. He's just trying to accept all these big fights as much. He's not trying to be no like Alexei Olenek of the freaking heavyweight
Yeah,
division. Like
yeah.
52 years
Stick
old.
around till
I want
50.
to go for the heavyweight title. Like, brother, please
Bro,
don't.
throw this guy a bone. Give him a good matchup for real, dude. I think
But
it's disrespectful.
speaking of good matchups, and speaking of this matchup right here, what were your thoughts on Barcelos picking up the win over Simone?
It was a banger fight. Honestly, they were just scrapping the whole time, and both of them were trying to take each other's heads off, but they were able to stick in there, and just a crazy display of toughness. So I was a huge fan of this fight. Both guys were trying to get some takedowns, but stuck on the feet for the most part, which I like. Where both of them have good grappling, and they kind of cancel each other out, and ended up being just a scrap all the way through. And Barcelos was, just able to get the edge. It was a close fight, but I agree with the decision for sure. I think Barcelos was just landing a little bit of the better shots, a little bit more accurate. And Simone did his best, but, the old man got the best of him. So it sucks to see for Simone and for my pick, but in terms of entertainment value, can't complain at all. That was a banger fight. No bonus for them, unfortunately, but, it was, I think, bonus worthy, for fight of the night, because that one I definitely had a lot of fun watching that one. I thought, at any moment one of them could drop, but there's some tough motherfuckers, and we're able to, keep it standing. So yeah, give myself a better name. Simone is a good name. I mean, his last 3 ones: Peyton Talbot, Garbrandt, Simone. I'm like, bro, all 3 of those guys are pretty big names. I'm like, throw this guy a bone. I'm like, give him a top, top 15 guy next, and see what he can do with it, because it seems like he's passing every test lately. So, see what happens.
See what happens, exactly. You know what I mean? Like, Barcelos has been doing a lot of good work,
Yeah,
and I feel
like we said, he's an old
he
man.
should be in
Can't
the top 10
keep him
ranked
around.
already.
Yeah,
Let him
come on.
get a top 10 ranked opponent. Let's see how he fares against them. And just like we just said, Cody Garbrandt, he beat a former champion, and they're like, yeah, but we don't think he should be ranked, brother. If Cody Garbrandt won that fight, they would have said, oh yeah, you're in the rankings. Like, all the
Yeah. They're
respect.
like, he's so back.
He's so back, guys. Our next fight, Haider Emil against Jamal Emers, and it was just a weird. Haider Emil had the first round looking like it was, everything was going good for him, and then
Yeah.
he gassed out, and then Jamal Emers, who looked sloppy, like they were both fighting in the most sloppy way possible. They were throwing out
Yeah.
blows that weren't even really landing. It was just throw it and see what happens next. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And then
totally.
Jamal Emers got the takedown second round. Haider Emil couldn't get up. The third round, he gets a takedown, and Haider was just on the
Done
ground the
for
whole
at that
way,
point.
just done for. That to the point where Emers, once he finished the fight, literally got up and just helped up Haider because he couldn't get back up at all. Like, he was gassed out, he was tired, he was screwed up. The featherweight division is one hell of a division too, because we never
These
know
little
what
guys, though, they're just freaking so many of them, and they're all so good and so fast. And if you're not one of the best, it's going to be tough to crack that top 15.
Exactly, because Giga Chikazi, David Onama, Dan Ige, Patricio Pitbull, Gene Silva, Josh Emmett. That's the top 15, top from 15 to 10.
Yeah. Whew,
There's
killers.
a couple of names. There's a couple of names in it that you don't think should be there. You know what I mean? Like, example, like, how's Josh Emmett still there? I would say respectfully. Dan Ige is, if you really like, bench warmer, borderline pushing it. David Onama just got knocked out, so like him keeping the spot safe, that was all right, cool. And the Giga Chikazi, you know what I mean? Like, it's been a minute since we've seen him.
He's
Really
kind of
been
been on
inside.
a tough one.
So, and like, but that top 10, top 9 to 1, it goes crazy because we got Brian Ortega, who lost to Aljamain Sterling. We have Steve Garcia, who just picked up a big knockout win. Yusuf Zalal, who's been dominating the scene.
Stacked.
Arnold Allen, who went from being undefeated to now, like, trying to get back into that title picture. Lerone Murphy, who might as well be next in time for the championship, next in line.
Yeah.
Like Yair Rodriguez should be next in line as well for the championship. Diego Lopez next in line for the championship.
Bro.
Movsar Evlov. Didn't Movsar just recently fight? Or am
I think he pulled out of. He was supposed to fight. I think was it Lopez or was it Yair? I can't remember. He was supposed to fight someone for the top contender. So
he was reportedly supposed to fight Aaron Pico,
that's what it was. Yeah,
and Pico fought who instead?
Lerone, right? How am I tripping?
Yeah, yeah, he fought Lerone and he got that spinning elbow knockout. So that's why we're thinking to ourselves, oh, Lerone, Yair, freaking Diego Lopez, next in line for
Yeah.
the championship very well. Mopsar is like, if he gets a shot, we're like, does he really deserve it? Like we
Mopsar,
saw
yeah,
the
bro. He's not
like
everyone's favorite fighter, so he's
like
not getting any love.
like his last win was over Aljamain. His last fight was a win over Aljamain Sterling.
Yeah, and
Aljamain's
that
already
was
bounced back.
that was December 7th, 2024. So he's coming up on a year of inactivity. So I'm like, I don't know how you keep your ranking when you're not fighting. I'm like Lopez beats Gene Silva. Yair was able to get a win against Pitbull. And then, it's just so stacked from there. Lerone, obviously, we talked about already. So, I'm not mad if, Evloev doesn't get it, even though he's ranked number 1 for some reason. I'm like, if you're not fighting anyone, then, I don't know, it's tough to, make your case. So, that's a stacked division too, man. Bantamweight and featherweight, so freaking good.
That's what I'm saying. Hold on. I'm trying to see something funny.
What is it? Oh.
Oh my god, okay, no, we're not doing that. Okay, it is.
New crib? Who this?
Nudist?
Oh.
No. I lost my crib. I lost my parlay.
You've been evicted.
But
No.
I got my parlay busted. But like that featherweight division, Jamal Emmers, I feel like he definitely should be in that top 15, top 10, and we need to definitely see him there soon because he's dominating the scene. He's doing
Yep.
some really good work with that wrestling, but like we see these fighters like get these fights and they're like, all right, that was good. How about another unranked opponent? And we're like, no, just give him a ranked opponent. Let's see them test themselves. Steve Garcia and David Onama and Gabriel Bonfim and Randy Brown were both given these big main events to prove themselves. We need to see more people prove themselves. I don't want to see freaking Martin Tibero get a fight night in Apex. I'll kill myself. Like, I keep saying
facts, dude.
I
I
will
prefer these guys than the unranked or even ranked heavyweights that are complete shit.
The co-main event for one of those fights could be like Josh Hogan against Walter Walker. I'll take that. Like put him in a co-main event slot so I can get rid of the heavyweight disdain and I'll be happy.
So they don't be gassed out by round 3 and then they're freaking sloppy as shit.
Exactly. But of course, Emil could not have enough in the gas tank. He loses it right then and there, decision-wise. And
we both picked him, so he let us down.
Yeah, exactly. I wish I knew how Amos was gonna look in that fight because if I would have switched that pickup, I could have picked up a win there. But it's cool. We got it tied up, and it's still scary as fuck. And then we headed to the main card, where once again, like we just we keep having this problem where we tie up a lot. Like
For real,
like,
bro. Hey, I'll take it. I'll take the tie over freaking Rami beating me because, as you guys see by the percentages, he's freaking almost 7 up on me. So he's been freaking looking good on the picks, guys. Just so you guys know.
I'm scared about this weekend's a pay-per-view, right?
Yeah.
I'm scared, dude.
JDM, baby, got my shirt on. Let's go.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
I know, bro. I'm like, fuck, dude. Islam has been looking jacked, bro. So.
I know. Islam looks fucking ripped like a motherfucker. Like one takedown, that's it, screwed. But
for real.
No, what I'm nervous about is that when I closing up on that, 197 right picks, 97 wrong picks.
For 100 positive, that's pretty fucking good though. 100 better.
I have to make it to 200 before I hit 100 losses. That's
for real, bro. You will. I have a feeling.
I'm so fucking nervous because if I see a loss in the very first fight of the card, I'm really gonna send you a picture of me like with a fucking gun that I had.
Oh,
I'm sorry. My buddy just sent like a fucking link to Spotify or something like that. I don't know. I don't know what it was. It was just, I think it was like a
Bro's
Buster's
plugging
theme
his
song.
music.
No, God forbid, God forbid. Oh my God, what was that? Like,
Bro's
I
like, check out
legit
my
just
new
saw it.
album.
I just saw it. Like, yeah, he just, oh no, he just sent it to a group chat for us. Like, oh my God, that's so awful. What is Sullivan? It's Sullivan Grenier, the French wrestler from the back in like '05. Very awful. But I'm fucking geeking at this because it's so funny. But I'm sorry for the interruption. We're getting into the main part here. Like, my God, I'm geeking about that. I'm gonna listen to that song later. I fucking, because
What the fuck?
I've been I've been using like almost like a BMX type of bike and whatnot, like 1986 type of like
Oh, heck yeah.
freestyle type of bike and whatnot. I have a dirt, I have 1 acre of dirt around my house. You know what I mean? Like it's a
Okay.
dirt. I live on like the dirt desert roads and whatnot like that.
Mm-hmm.
3 laps around my house, like basically an acre of going around on a fucking bike like that, can kill your fucking knees like nothing. Like my
Oh,
God,
yeah.
my
That's bad.
thighs and my fucking calves were on fire this weekend. I'm like, God, please help me. And the worst part is like when you're drinking water because like you're so dehydrated and whatnot,
Oh, yeah.
and then
Oof.
you go back for the ride, and then the burp gets stuck. So the whole time you have to walk now to get that loosened
Bro,
up
you're
and
like,
burp it out.
God.
I wanted to cry. I was like, God, please, why me? Like, but um, it, it's been a great workout. I feel great for myself
Yeah.
and everything.
Let's
And plus,
go. I love biking,
summertime, like
baby.
exactly. But I was like, because my pops, he loves the BMX bikes and everything from 1986 and '85. Eddie Fallow and all these other, bikers and whatnot. That's what he got him really into it. So I showed him like the side by side of like his bike and then your bike and everything like that. And he was like, I know those type of fucking bikes. Those are like the fucking Armstrong bikes, right? I'm like, I believe fucking so. Like, the fucking like
Yep.
Tour de France and whatnot and
Yep.
everything like
Oh,
that.
yeah, bro.
Like,
That's the type of shit I like. Sheesh. But
like
no, dude, I
it,
used to do some BMX as a kid, bro. That shit is fun.
it's very fucking fun. But like when those handlebars hit your ribs, you're just like,
Oh,
oh my God,
bro. Those things can hurt, bro. Oh, my
they
God.
fu- they're very deadly, very deadly. Heading into this first fight here, kicking it off middleweight division, Marco Tullio against Kristen Leroy Duncan, and my
This shit was
freaking
crazy.
goodness, crazy stuff, crazy stuff. 2 rounds of just pure violence
Yeah.
from Kristen Leroy Duncan. Marco Tullio was trying to survive, but we just know the CLD was gonna walk out of there with with his head held high, his hand raised up. It was just a
Yeah.
perfect performance from him.
Crazy KO,
That,
bro.
sp-
Whew.
that spinning elbow, sorry, spinning back. It looked like a spinning elbow. That
Yeah.
spinning back fist was beautiful. Rocked him for a moment.
Wobbling.
He lands a jab. I'm like, okay, what's gonna be the next one? Then he just drops him, face plant knockout,
That right
and then
hand.
landed that extra blow. I was like, my fucking goodness, that was murder.
For real,
Like he didn't
bro.
need it. He didn't need to land an extra strike. He was good. He
So
was
he was
good on him,
pissed at
but
him, bro. He seemed like he hated him.
he
He was
hated him,
mad
and the
after,
referee
bro.
and the referee didn't even want to push him off. He was like, I don't know, man. I think
For
we should
real,
just
bro.
let it
He's a
keep going.
freaking huge for middleweight. Like, what?
CLD picked up a performance of the night bonus for that big win there. Rightfully so. Like, why
Yeah.
wouldn't he have?
I'd be
Like,
pissed if not.
kicking off the card like that, my goodness, it was just beautiful work. What were
For
your thoughts
real.
on Kristen Leroy Duncan getting that spinning
Huge.
back fist and punches finish?
Yeah, dude. It was a tough matchup. Marco Tullio, absolute monster, undefeated in the UFC and the Contender Series, all finishes. Super dangerous opponent. We've seen CLD, have some losses against some of these dangerous opponents, but this time he was going in there for blood, man. And Tullio was just not quite ready for that power. And man, Leroy, when he's on because he has such creative striking, and you never know what he's going to throw. And then with his frame and build, he can really reach you from so far away. He's absolutely massive for that division. So he's such a tough matchup for all these guys. I have no idea how he makes weight. He looks like a light heavyweight in there, and even against Tullio, who's pretty big himself, this made him look
Tulio's
like,
a pretty big fella. I don't know why he didn't go
yeah,
into modeling because I'm still not making a lie. The guy has like a good model type of face. I'm like, brother, you picked the wrong profession here.
yeah,
You're
for
going
real, bro. Like that one fighter who fucking models and and fights. I can't remember his name, but he's on the come up too. So maybe do both.
Yeah,
I can't remember his name,
right.
but that dude's awesome. But for real, Bob, I'm like, this is such a tough matchup coming in. Tough call, honestly. But I was leaning CLD due to his experience. He's been in there with so many good guys, and he was able to use that experience to the best of his ability and, put Tulio out cold. You could tell there was some personal shit going on where he wanted to prove himself. Maybe Tulio was talking shit. I'm not sure, but that last shot was just so mean. And like, dude, he's already out cold and he had to land one more ground and pound for the road. And man, Tulio might need some time off after that one because that was just such a nasty, nasty KO and perfectly timed.
Islam Dulatov, that's the fighter that was a model, and it's also a fighter as well.
Bro, this guy freaking saved some talent for the rest of us, bro. Sheesh.
Like my God, please. But CLD picking up that big win there, the middleweight division, as always, very, very fun to watch and witness, seeing these things batch up. As we go to the rankings, we have Joe Pyfer, Marvin Vittori, Paulo Costa, Roman Doliti, and Jared Cannonier tied with Michael Venom Page at the number 10 spot. I don't know how we literally saw Michael Page beat Jared Cannonier.
Yeah, bro. I don't get that at all, dude. I'm like, get CLD in there, bro. Come on.
That's what, like, CLD gets in there, and I guarantee you, guys like Joe Pyfer, down. Guys like Marvin Vittori, down. Paulo Costa, that'll be a fun one. Leroy Duncan and Paulo Costa, oh my God. Give that to me as a co-main event, I'll take it.
Bro, but I'm like, how is RDR still in the top 10? How? Come on. After that last performance, he lasted one round and was gassed down, bro. I'm like, I don't know if that's top 10.
Like, really? And because you look at it like this. Robert Whitaker lost RDR, and we're like, wow, RDR is great. RDR loses the freaking Brendan Allen, we're like, wow, RDR is not great anymore. Like, there's a turn of 24 hours, and we're like, wow, that changed.
Bro, I'm like, he earned it, bro, with that terrible performance, bro. That was just terrible.
Kaya Barao got freaking destroyed by what, Nasruddin Imavov, was it? Like, Nasruddin freaking like, pieced him up. And then after that, Israel Adesanya got pieced up by Nasruddin Imavov. Brendan Allen, I think, got pieced up by Nasruddin Imavov. He might have. Anthony Hernandez was protected because but that's the thing too, is if Anthony Hernandez didn't get injured and he stepped in on a fight in RDR and pieced him up the way that we saw, he would have probably been advanced over the number 3 spot with Sean Strickland and taken that. Then Sean Strickland as well is saying that his suspension is coming up soon, like it'll be officially lifted, and he wants to fight Anthony Hernandez. God damn, good. Take Hernandez on and get your ass whooped. I cannot wait for that fight to happen because it needs to.
But Strickland's still top 3 is kind of crazy. I'm like, 1 win in his last like fucking 3 years or some shit.
And what do we do about Hamza Chimaev? Because does he rematch Duplessis? No, because we saw the way that fight turned out. Does he fight
give him Imavov?
Like, Imavov should be very well next in freaking line. He's been dominating the scene. If he went from like Nasruddin Imavov just took out Izzy Adesanya, knocking him out, and we're like literally fucking faceplant knockout, killed him.
Yeah.
And then we saw him beat Werner the Ritter, who just dominated Robert Whitaker. Like, if Whitaker, who was dominated by Izzy twice, and then freaking RDR, who gets dominated by Nasruddin Imavov, who just beat all those guys.
Yeah, I'm like, what more does Imavov need to do, bro? He's been just on fire lately, so he's definitely my top contender for middleweight.
The wrestling will be very scary, but the thing is, he stuffs all these takedowns. He works his way out, and he does a great job. It's like the situation where like Armin Tsarukyan, like, is Tsarukyan gonna get the next shot at the title? Oh, he has to beat Dan Hooker, and we're like, Dan Hooker, the guy who we counted out years ago, back in the title picture. All of a sudden, he's like,
the matchmaking makes no sense.
He's like, I got enough money, I'm gonna get inked out, and we're like, oh, that's not good. And all of a sudden, the ink made him indestructible. Like, fighters gotta start getting more tattoos. Get like the face tattoo, the neck tattoo, the freaking dick tattoo. Whatever you gotta do. Like, you get freaking hitting dick.
Bro, boost their power.
Shit anymore.
For real, bro. But I mean, I love Hooker for real, but sheesh.
But CLD picks up.
Get him in the rankings.
Get him in the rankings. Chris Padilla is up next here against Ismael Bonfim, and we both picked Padilla. I had a strong feeling. I was like, if there's gonna be one brother that wins, it might be Gabriel and
Yeah,
Ismail just
you're
gets,
right about that one.
And wow, but Chris Padilla came into this one very freaking heavy. I love the way he fights. He reminds me of
Mm,
Clay Guida. He reminds me of Clay Guida,
yeah,
and I love that the way that his hair bounces around, the way that he steps into the freaking into the trouble and tries to step out of the fire with a big blow. He's great. He's really freaking good at what he does. And then
yeah.
when he finally, and those leg kicks, by the way, those leg kicks. I think I brought up to my little brother, like when I was watching the Gabriel Bonfim and Randy Brown fight. I'm like, Gabriel just took Chris Padilla's freaking game plan that he just
Hmm.
used on his own brother and was landing these beautiful leg kicks. But Chris Padilla and those leg kicks, it stopped Bonfim. It gassed him out sooner rather than later. He gets him against the freaking cage, and he starts landing these big blows just over and over again, blow after blow after blow. And then
Yeah,
Chris Padilla picks up the big win here. I catchweight as well because Ismail Bonfim missed weight by 5 pounds. So Padilla was like, I'm gonna earn that 25% and
for
I'm gonna
real.
get myself a big win. What I'm shocked about, no bonus for him. I
Yeah,
think he should have got. I
I
think he
know,
should have
bro.
gotten a
And he
bonus.
made a
He
case for
stepped
it
in
in
there.
the post fight presser, saying his mom lives in the trailer. He wants a bonus to help move her out. And the
Like
UFC
he,
is like, no, sorry, bro. That makes us look
mm,
bad. No bonus for
they're
you.
like, well, Temple Garimbo got a house from The Rock, and he's sucked since then. Why
Bro,
should we do
just
anything for you? Like,
fucking for
what
real,
the
bro. I'm like,
fuck?
come on, bro. I'm so sick of this shit. I'm like, bro,
He,
any bonus deserving performance should get a bonus, regardless of, oh, well, this also got a bonus on the card. We can't have too many bonuses on the card. I'm like, if it's good enough for a bonus, it should be good enough for a bonus. And I don't know how that's not good enough for a bonus, bro. They hate it when they have to quote unquote beg for it. But I'm like, bro, these guys need money, bro. I'm like, they're professional athletes at the best league in the entire world, apparently, for this sport, but they have to beg for money, bro. I'm like, this shit is pathetic. Meanwhile, it's $1 billion company. I'm like, come on, bro. $1 billion. Dana's happily fucking betting that much at the blackjack table every night. But God
exactly.
forbid a fighter fucking knocks someone out and wants a bonus. I'm like, come on, bro. They should
When
just
we
make
look
it a
at this,
bonus for every finish. I don't see the
when
issue
we
with
look at
that.
Yeah, I agree with you. When we look at this lightweight division, Mauricio Ruffy is 15. Number 14 is Grant Dawson. Number 13 is is Benoit Saint Denis, who fights Benil Darius, the number 9 ranked this weekend. Michael Chandler is still there all of a sudden. Renato Moicano is
Yeah.
still there. Rafael Fasib is still there. Mateus Gamrot, Dan Hooker, Paddy Pimblett, Gaethje, Holloway, Oliveira, Tsurkian, Makshayev, even though Islam has already moved up to the welterweight division, but we won't get that into fruition until this upcoming weekend and whatever happens there.
Yeah.
But with this division, Chris Padilla should very well fight next Michael Chandler. You know what I mean?
I could see
Like
it. Yeah. I mean, Connor ain't coming back, bro. I'm sorry.
Conor ain't coming back. Michael Chandler, you need a young up and coming opponent. Fight Chris Padilla. Either that or Grant Dawson. And after
Yeah, that'd be a
that,
good one.
Chris Padilla against Renato Moicano against Rafael Fastiv is also a good one. Any of these guys, really, let him fight. He won. He made weight. He made his money. He proved
Yeah.
himself.
He's undefeated
Let
in
him
the
go in there.
UFC. Come on.
Exactly. Like let him go in there and let him go dominate that fucking top 15 scene. So it's all about what happens next, really.
Yeah.
For Ismail Bonfim, I really don't know what the hell is next for him. He's really got to get that gas tank in check, and just start working more, start working harder
Yeah.
on those
It's
on that on
a
those.
tough run for him.
It's gonna be something. But
Yeah,
next
lost
fight,
3 of his last 4, so definitely needs to turn it around. Otherwise, he might be booted, and his brother might be the only Bonfim left.
exactly. Our next fight, welterweight division, Muslim Salikov against Yoros Medic. Yoros Medic, of course, was dealing with a loss in his last come around. Of course, not really looking so well for himself. Because of course his last, if I can pull it up, the last time he was knocked out was by Ponelhi Soriano, this past January. Since then, he knocked out Gilbert Urbina, and now he knocked out Muslim Salikov in this fight, where they were at first it looked weird because the head kick landed, Muslim blocked it off. He was like, "Yeah, that's nothing for me," and then he got slept.
Yeah,
It was so quick. He got slept so
for real,
quickly, and I
bro.
was like, "Oh my God!" And I had a bet. I had a parlay. Funny enough, because um, it was Chris Padilla who won. I was like, "Okay, cool."
Yeah.
Muslim Salikov and Randy Brown. So we all know number 2 and number 3 were not gonna fucking work
Yeah,
out for me. So
but
I was like, my God, like that is fucked.
bro, that was
But yeah, man,
impressive.
it was very impressive. Euros Medic pulling on his beautiful, beautiful performance. Anytime he wins, he gets a knockout. Isn't that scary?
Yeah,
He, he's never gone the distance. He's never gone the distance.
not even
Eh,
in
eh,
that's just crazy. Not even in a
Not
loss.
even in not even in a loss. He's never gone the distance. His first 7 fights of his career were all knockouts in the first or second round. He gets to the UFC. He loses to Jalen Turner by submission, which is a shocker because Jalen Turner has always dealt with a very iffy type of matchup. He
Mhm.
knocks out Omar Morales. He knocks out Matthew Semelsberger. He fights Mirbek Olabai and gets
Yeah, that was a crazy
submitted
one. Yeah,
in 2023. He beats Tim Means. He gets knocked out by Soriano, and now in his last 2 fights, he's gotten KO wins over Gilbert Urbina and Muslim Salikov.
yeah,
That's for
he's peaking now, bro.
he's peaking now. Muslim Salikov is not a guy who's supposed to be dealing with stuff like this. We see Muslim Salikov, and we see how dominant he is in wrestling. His last fight was against Carlos Liel Miranda knockout. Keenan Song knockout. Santiago Ponzinibbio split decision. His last loss was to Randy Brown, who was the headliner. So I feel like
Yeah,
he was like, all right, I stepped into this, I beat him. Maybe they gave me the main event guy next. Nope,
nope.
nope,
Medic
not
had
at
other
all.
plans.
If anything, Medic against Bonfim,
Yeah,
I think that would
I
be a
like that
freaking
matchup
knock.
actually.
I think that would be a knockout fight right there. To give him 3 rounds, really. That's all you really need for them. 3 rounds, a co-main event slot, and then boom, see how everything works out there. But
Yeah, I mean that
what were
one
your
won't go to
thoughts
the
on
decision.
now? What were your thoughts on Medic's picking up this big win here?
Yeah, huge performance from him. It was really close going into it. I wasn't sure who was gonna win, but I was leaning with the OG Salikov. Such a fun style. We've seen him have some crazy knockouts, but on this time it was on the reverse end of things. And Medic, what a performance! Going in there, doing what he does best, sleeping dudes, and I thought that maybe it'd be him
I'm
that's the one
sorry.
getting
I
slept,
had
but
sleeping dudes, and all I had to put is the sleeping with dudes, and I would have been fucking cracking up with all
that's
night
the
long,
thing he
dude.
does best. The best base for MMA apparently, but for real, bro, never been finished. I mean, never been finished. Never has not gone the distance. So bro's always getting finishes. So
Mm-hmm.
shout out to Medic. Hate to see it to Salikov. A bit of a fan favorite, funny build, but with the crazy freaking knockouts, the king of kung fu, as they say. So unfortunately, he was not the king this time around. And Medic, now he's on a nice little back-to-back first-round KO streak, and then he had that loss, so he was slept in the first round, and then he had another KO in the first round. So this dude's either gonna get slept or sleep someone. So it's a fan favorite all around. Like you were saying, throw him another step up. Maybe Bonfim or someone even higher. Screw it, because this dude's such a fun fighter. And deserving of all the praise that he gets for putting his freaking health on the line every time to get these finishes. Not every fighter has the balls to go in there and go for the KO every time, because it's comes with a lot of risk. Open yourself up to the counters, but you also open yourself up to getting more and more fans and more recognition as you go on this crazy KO streak where it's crazy the fact that he's never been to a decision, but he's had a good amount of UFC fights. 6-3 in the UFC now. It's not like he's some newbie or anything. So the fact that he's able to keep this streak going is just crazy. Even if he gets slept every once in a while, the fans are still going to be rooting for you if putting your body on the line and more often than not getting the win. So yeah, throw him in there against Bonfim. Maybe that'd be a good matchup. They're both lined up well now, so I could see that one honestly.
Hell yeah. And our next fight was a flyweight bout. Matt Snell, the last time he had this big highlight moment, he had blood all over his chest. He was screaming because he got
Bro,
that big,
against
big,
Jimmy
big,
Slick.
exactly. And we're like, wow, that was good. And then recently, it's been a very, very bad turn of events for him, just not really able to pick up a big win. Then Joseph Morales comes into the picture for the flyweight division, and my freaking goodness. He has not lost a fight since 2018, where he lost to Eric Shelton at the which is shocker. I wrote about this event when it happened, not this fight specifically, but the
Hmm.
headliner. Denver, Colorado, the 25th anniversary for the UFC. The Korean Zombie Chain Sung Jung against Yair Rodriguez. Rodriguez was fired months prior to that because he would not accept a fight against Zabit Magomed Sharipov. He would not accept the fight in Los Angeles. He said no to the UFC. They said, "Okay, you're fired." They could not
Yeah,
get
that's our bro.
They could not get Zabit Magomed Sharipov a fight, so they just said, "Okay, we'll hire back Yair, and we're gonna make you go against the Korean Zombie as a punishment." And it really was a punishment for the first 4 rounds. You know, we saw Korean Zombie just mess him up, and in the end, Yair lands up that weird elbow, knocked
Yeah,
him out,
that one
flash
was crazy.
knockout, big one. But that was the last time that Joseph Morales lost. Since then, he was cut from the UFC. He went on to the Cage Warriors, got back-to-back wins, fought for Uriah Faber's A1 combat, got a submission triangle choke, made it back to the UFC this past August, fought Alibi Idris, submitted him, and now fought Max Snell and submitted him. Since then, he does not want to go back on those, and he even did a 6-7 thing, like the
Yeah,
freaking hype of the crowd or
yeah.
whatever. I was like, brother, please. But we saw a very, very big performance from Joseph Morales in that flyweight match,
Yeah,
picking up that big submission win. Max Snell has not been looking himself recently. Of course, he did have that Jimmy Flick win
yeah,
recently,
yeah.
but
They were both freaking like 50.
yeah, but
Battle
like
of the Owns.
Cody Durden beat submitted him. Steve Erceg knocked him out. Mateus Nicolau knocked him out. Sue Monterey was what I believe was a bloody fight that he had in 2022 where he was like all like messed up and whatnot. And Brandon Royval choked him out. Like it's been like the worst of worlds for Matt Snell. Like he
Yeah,
cannot seem to get his groove, right in there. He can't like pick up back-to-back wins. He has not been able to step up
yeah,
against really this big competition in the flyweight division. And the more Morales shows himself, I'm back. I'm more dominant than ever. I'm a
hmm,
scary human being. I can choke at anybody. The UFC is just looking at him like, my God, that's money right there.
yeah.
And of course, Morales picks up a big win here. He did not pick up a performance of the night bonus. Shocker. I really don't know how. When that was a very, very dominant first round
Yeah,
win.
through a
Submission,
first round finish
guillotine choke.
doesn't get you a bonus. I'm like, come on, bruh. These greedy
Um,
motherfuckers.
but yeah, what were your thoughts on Morales picking up that very quick win?
Yeah, I definitely saw it coming where Schnell does not have a lot of momentum. His only win in the last while is, like you were saying, Jimmy Flick, who is getting ready to apply for like elderly benefits because he's so damn old. And I think he's retired now. But yeah, Joseph Morales came into the Ultimate Fighter season, won the Ultimate Fighter, got back in the UFC, and ever since has been looking really, really good. So you love to see a redemption arc where he was booted from the UFC, forgotten about, never thought of again until he shows up in the Ultimate Fighter, does his thing on the Ultimate Fighter, wins the whole thing, and now he's beating guys in the UFC once again, and love to see it. He still has some left in the tank for sure, so definitely could keep working his way up these rankings if he keeps doing these wins. He's only 31 years old, so not the youngest, but plenty of time to go. Nowhere near done, and if he's able to keep winning like this, it's a tough division, but not the toughest where flyweight is a little bit more shallow than some of the other weight classes in those lower rankings, like bantamweight and featherweight, but still a really tough division. But you love to see a fun fighter like this who has such a great story where, like I was saying, came back in the UFC, thought it was written off, and now he's doing his thing once again. So, if it was a little bit of not the toughest matchup with Schnell, but you can only do what you got to do against who they put you up against. So it's not his fault he was fighting someone that, he was probably going to win. But, Schnell, in the past, we've seen him, when he's a little younger, we saw him, he was a little bit of a tougher matchup. But, he did what he needed to do and got him out of there really quickly. So I wish he got a bonus, but I bet he'll eventually get one if he keeps winning like that.
For sure, for sure. Um, and what do you call it? Hold on, I just saw like a notification about something about opponents. Chris Padilla that said that he has no hard feelings about not receiving that bonus, saying, "I'm gonna hustle with or without it. If I would have got it, I wouldn't have stopped hustling hard. I'm not gonna stop hustling hard. I'm not one of those guys that ever got what he wanted. So I'm gonna keep working. So I like that mentality, but come on, man, you deserve the money. You know what I mean? You
Yeah,
deserve
yeah.
the freaking money for doing what you're doing. But
Facts.
Joseph Morales, I remember I went against him on that pick against Alibi Idris
Yeah, I think I
Idris
did too,
uh,
honestly.
for that Ultimate Fighter match. But I was like, I don't know much about him. I didn't really watch the season at all. Even though they had Chael Sonnen and Daniel Cormier, I was like, I just don't feel that feel. Unless you tell me Chael Sonnen
Yep.
and Daniel Cormier are gonna fight each other at the end of the season, I'll be like, I don't really care about it.
And they don't really
But
market it that well either, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like
they
they
really
don't really
don't. Like
talk about it at all.
they're like, oh, the next day they're like, oh, now you can stream it on ESPN. I'm like,
Yeah, I'm like,
it's
man.
Wednesday. It's Wednesday. You know what that means? It's time for All Elite Dynamite, brother. Like I'm not gonna watch no Ultimate Fighter. I'm gonna watch
Yeah,
AEW, brother.
like
Um,
it's not what it used to be for sure, bro. So I hate to
for
see
sure.
that, honestly.
But Morales picking up that big win here and picking up a big win for that Ultimate Fighter finale, he proved himself that he deserves to be back here, and I cannot wait to see what happens next for him. He picking up that win, brother. He's just gonna keep dominating the scene. So anyone who goes against him, that's Khabib right there for the flyweight division. It's gonna be very fun to see
Yeah.
what happens next. Our main event is up next. Gabriel Bonfim against Randy Brown. No one thought this fight was gonna go the distance, and it didn't.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't even get past the fucking this the second round mark. Randy Brown was looking a little bit good, but Gabriel Bonfim with those leg kicks was
Yeah.
really nice. He
Nasty
took the
work.
game plan from Chris Padilla. Look, landed those like slick leg kicks every time he stepped in. Another one, another one, another one. And then they got into that clinch in the second round, and it was a weird one because he lands the knee. It basically put freaking Randy Brown out, even though he
Yeah.
also fell on his back. Well, Gabriel fell on his
I
back. It
know.
was
I
like,
thought it was a punch at first, but it was just like I don't
yeah,
even know what happened. It was like a push almost.
exactly. Like I guess he hit him so hard that he just like was like, wow, my power was so good.
For real,
But
bro.
Randy Brown is out. The referee calls it off, and everyone's like, "Oh, but Randy was still awake." Did you see his eyes?
Yeah, I'm
He
like,
was like,
yeah.
brother was out of it. Like
We're using
I
awake
don't
very loosely. I see.
like even if like people want to be like, "Oh, but it's because you picked Bonfim." Dude, I pick a lot of fighters. They
I mean, I
lose.
picked Brown, and I was like, at first I was like, I thought it was a punch. So at first I was like, well, they're both on the ground. But then I'm like, well, he didn't even hit him. So I'm like, it was just like an off balance type of thing. And I'm like, I thought they both had a double knockdown for a second. So at first I was like, oh, they should have kept it going. But then I see the replay. I'm like, okay, one dude was asleep, the other guy was completely fine. So I'm like,
I know.
can't
Like
be
the
mad at
other guy
that.
was like, come on now, like that was a
Bro. I'm
straight up
like, it
finish.
would have been more ground and pound, and it would have been done for right there. So I'm like, save Randy from the freaking brain damage while we can.
Exactly. Randy is a tough competitor, but that knee just really put him down, and that was really it was good night Irene at that point. So
Yeah, that was
um
nasty.
big win for Gabriel Bonfim. The call out was stupid. Like really, you don't have to call out Colby Covington. Colby's not gonna fight ever again. I don't believe it whatsoever. And even if
Yeah,
this fight does happen, people are like, oh man, I'm really excited for this fight. No, who says that about Colby Covington in 2025? The
yeah.
big 2025, brother. No. Um,
Bro, I'm
but
like, that'd be easy work for Bonfim, let's be real.
it really would be. But that closes up that card. The headliner, of course, Bonfim and Randy Brown. Just a tough one. But at the end of the day, we tie it up. Last week I picked up the win. This week you tied things up. You're like, nah,
Let's
motherfucker, I'm gonna
go.
get this one.
For real, dude.
So props,
Behind the scenes, my
props to
dumbass
you.
miscounted it. And I was like, oh, I got Rami on this one. Oh, I was like,
I was
hey.
like,
And then
wait, no,
you're like,
no,
wait
no.
a minute, bro. I actually picked myself. I'm like, fuck, that's right. Fuck.
Oh man,
My
I was a
counting
bit
skills are
nervous.
not the best.
I was like, wait a minute, wait a goddamn minute, but like, no, fucking great work this weekend. This upcoming weekend is gonna be bigger, and let's get into that very quickly before we send everybody off.
Yeah, I'm
We
hyped for
have
this one.
the UFC 322 Jack Della Maddalena vs Islam Makhachev card, branded as Vashane UFC 322 for sponsorship regions. I don't know what the fuck that means.
Yeah,
Um,
what the fuck?
like what the fuck does that mean?
But we can't get
Anyways,
a bonus. You can't give a bonus out, but you can name the fucking card, whatever the fuck this shit is. Come on,
Um,
bro. Where's
the
the money
opening
going,
is
Dana? Where's it going?
the early prelim is Bazangur of Sosarkayev against Eric Makhaniko. Who Eric Makhaniko is a plus 1,000 on the betting odds. So
I
if
was
he
gonna
wins,
say, yeah. Whew.
if he wins and someone puts a bet on that, my God, buy yourself a house, buddy.
For
Especially with
real,
the
you
tariffs
might need
going
to
up right
throw a
now,
little
go buy
something
yourself
on it.
a house.
A little sprinkle.
Angela Hill versus Fatima Klein, who's 8-1. Angela Hill, the veteran, against Fatima, the rising contender. So it'll be very exciting. Stipe
Mm-hmm.
Mariscal versus Pat Sabatini. That should be very interesting in that
Yeah,
featherweight
banger.
division.
Chepe's a beast.
Exactly. Gerald Mearshart, he will be fighting Kyle Dawkins in the early prelim feature card. Like we have 4 fights in the early prelims. I think that's awesome. Like they're really
Yeah.
making MSG feel something. Then we have 4 fights on the prelim card, which you can watch on ESPN Plus or ESPN News. Um, Malcolm Wellmaker, who we just mentioned a while ago, will be fighting Cody Haddon. That's gonna be very fun.
Yeah.
Wellmaker is
Wellmaker's a
always dominating the
beast.
scene. Exactly. So that's going to be a very quick, maybe quick knockout for him. Erin Blanchfield, she is back for the women's flyweight division. She will be fighting Tracy Cortez, everyone's favorite Tracy Cortez, looking to get back up into those rankings. Erin
Mm-hmm.
Blanchfield, who's very dominant. I cannot wait to see how this one turns out. Another fight that's going to be fucking awesome. It should be a feature prelim. I think it should be the feature prelim. No offense to what it is the feature prelim. But Roman Kopylov, after losing to Paulo Costa a couple months ago, he is back. He'll be fighting RoboCop's Gregory Rodriguez. I cannot wait for
Yeah.
that.
Oof.
We always see some great stuff from Gregory, and Roman Kopylov it's a test for him to see how you fare against a power hitter like this. Our featured prelim is Rodolfo Vieira, the black belt hunter, or black belt killer as he calls himself, against Bo Nickel. And
Yeah, that'll be an
that's what
interesting matchup, honestly. Where it's
it's
like,
interesting because Bo needs to step up, and Vieira is gonna try to really put him down. Then we
yeah.
get
I
into
mean,
the main
Vieira's tough
card.
on the ground, so we'll see what happens.
Exactly. That's why Black Belt Hunter, he's looking for those motherfuckers. He's like
Yeah.
Kazushi. It's like Kazushi Sakuraba back in the day of Pride when he was trying to
Yeah.
fight all the Gracies. Like they legit named him the Gracie Killer because he just killed them
Mm-hmm.
all. The main card, I think this is the most interesting, most entertaining main card we've seen in quite some time.
I agree, bro.
The,
They don't fuck
the
around with
opener,
MSG.
exactly, the opener is Benil Darouche against Benoit Saint Denis, a battle of wrestlers who have to get it to the ground and try to get a big choke. Benil, Benil, the bull, bending the bull, just doing great work as always. But
Mm-hmm.
Benoit Saint Denis has been working his way back up. Like he's done great jobs ever since he
Yeah.
lost to Dustin Poirier. He's been getting right back in there.
Well, took out
Next
Roofy
fight,
last time. That was huge.
I know. Next fight, welterweight division. Former champion Leon Edwards welcomes Carlos Prates, who's coming off that big spinning
Yeah.
elbow
Oof.
win. I think Prates puts him down, and I think Leon Edwards has a. But Leon Edwards did say as well, "I'm very glad to be fighting a striker. I don't want to be fighting a wrestler." And we're like, that's bad to say, because
Yeah,
like
you're
if
like,
you're literally
it's letting us
if you're
know.
openly admitting that, oh yeah, Bilal Muhammad and Sean Brady really put a number on me. If you could beat Colby
Yeah.
Covington and you couldn't beat those two guys, then that's kind of scary to how
Bro,
the
I'm
rest
like,
of
how
the
shit
division
is
can be.
Kobe's? That's what I'm wondering.
I know. Our next fight, speaking of somebody, Sean Brady, who just beat Leon Edwards a
Yeah.
couple
Oof.
months back, he's fighting against Michael Morales.
Oof.
Ooh, that's like this whole
Undefeated.
fucking card. A great card. Then a
Yeah.
co-main event, the move up. Zhang Weili wants to fight for the women's flyweight championship. Well, she's got it. Valentina the Bullet Shevchenko will put her title on the line in a massive co-main event. This is gonna be huge. But then the main event is what gets even better. Islam Akshayev moves up from the lightweight division. He wants to fight for the welterweight championship. Jack Del Madalena is the man, who just
Yeah.
defeated Bilal Muhammad. I'm very excited to see how it goes. As the spin doctors say, there's two princes who adore you. Just go ahead now, and that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be going ahead on Saturday night, seeing what type of champions come out of this. Will we get
Yeah.
and new for both sides, or will we have and new and still, or even just and still? If
Yeah.
Valentina
What a
and
card.
Jack Del Madalena can walk out of this with the titles, I'll be very impressed. I'll be
Mhm.
very impressed because these are two hungry contenders
Yeah.
who just want to continue the legacy and continue on
Bro.
how just how great they are.
They just ran through the division. They're like, oh, looks like I have to move up. No more freaking people to fight. So shit. It's gonna be a tough
Exactly.
matchup, dude. I don't know. It's gonna be tough to predict as well. So I'm gonna have to do some thinking.
And then for those who are big fans of the NFL, we had our pick'em this past week, another big week 10.
Hey, we
And of
tied in
course,
this one too. But I
me,
think you got the
Brady,
tiebreaker.
me, Max, Rob, and Brian all tied up. I wish I picked fucking the Jets. The
For real,
goddamn
bro. They
Jets. Like,
fucking got
who
us.
says that? Who says that shit?
For
But
real, bro. This is a weird week. Buffalo choked. Cleveland didn't get it done.
Nope, did not get it. Carolina even lost. I was like, well, Carolina was doing so good. All of a sudden,
Yeah.
Jacksonville loses. Like, it's been so great how we've been seeing how everything folds out, and I'm just very happy to see that season pick 'em 98 and 50. I'm gonna use that percentage for the rest of my life. Like, yeah, well, back in 2025, I was
You're
this
like, I
percentage of pick.
dominated. For real, dude.
So like,
Rami's beating me on the picks in the MMA and the NFL. Come on. Save some winning for the rest of us.
what about MLB, man? Let's go there. Like, next
That'd be
year,
tough to
next
pick.
year,
Holy
oh my
shit.
God, that's gonna be so fucking hard.
That'd be like a
160
million
games.
picks.
Yeah, at the end of the fucking month, I think at the end of the year, sorry, of the season, we'd have like 1,000 picks and like
Yeah.
700 wrongs.
For
So,
real.
oh my
Easily.
God. But that's always so much fun to do. I cannot wait for week 11 coming up this week. There's gonna be
Yeah.
so many great matchups and whatnot. Hopefully, we don't get another 10 fucking 7 matchup like on Thursday and Monday that we got last night
Yeah.
and
Complete
last
shit.
Thursday. I was like, brother, I'm tired. Give me a
Well,
score
bro.
already,
Bo
goddamn
Nix
it.
needs to, maybe, go back to the drawing board. Do better. I had
Do
him in
better.
fantasy, so I'm salty.
You're like, oh, he needs to do better, man. Do better. But of course, that was another edition of Talktagon, episode 35. Crazy work that we're getting into. Like, I'm shocked that
For
we
real,
got
bro.
35 freaking episodes deep into this. 15 more episodes
Crushing
to go,
it.
I believe, right? 15 more episodes to go, and one of us got to fight each other.
Oh,
So,
whoa. I don't
yeah,
remember
guys,
agreeing to this.
sport, man, sport, man, sport, you know? Oh man, but like it's gonna be so much fun. I cannot wait. Oh my God, I need to go 200 wins.
For real,
200 like in
bro.
a
I need
right.
to catch up. I need to start doing
Like,
some crazy picks or something to even the playing field. Because I
I
need a
think
crazy
this next
comeback at this point.
I'm calling it now. This upcoming weekend, I'm gonna have the perfect card. I'm gonna have the perfect card, and it's gonna be
Ooh,
best.
okay. We'll see. We'll see.
Like I'm only gonna, if anything, I'll only have one fight wrong. Write that
Okay.
shit down.
Book it.
I got it right.
When I
Book
beat
that
him,
shit right
I'm going
there.
to be, bringing that back up.
Oh
I'm
man, I
coming.
cannot wait. I cannot wait. All right, thank you so much to everybody who tuned in for another edition of Talktagon. I'm your host, Rami Afif. It's been, of course, a pleasure. Sorry about last week of not showing up. This week we made up for it. We recapped last week's card, recapped this week's card,
Yeah.
and for this weekend's card, it's gonna be very freaking exciting. UFC
Facts.
returns to MSG, New York City. It's gonna be
Possibly
a
the
lot
best
of
card
fun.
of the year, low key, bro. Fucking stats.
Literally, possibly the best card of the freaking year, and I cannot wait for it. We're gonna get new champions, or maybe and still, and some new contenders rising up. You can find me at my socials at Who Else But Rami, Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram, anywhere possible. You get your socials on. If you see my beautiful mug, then you very well know where you're gonna be
In the
finding
right
me
place.
in the
And
right
then you
places.
guys
And
find me at Combat Combos on Twitter, X, and then follow me at Brawl and Draw. Got my art. You know who I'm rocking with this little spoiler. You know who I'm rocking with. It's going to be Ann still, but, we'll see.
We'll see. I cannot wait for that. It's so exciting. I just want it to be Saturday night already, man. Like I'm excited as hell. Like we got like
For real,
what,
bro.
5 more days to go. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You know what I mean? We got some. Let's say Saturday. We got some. I counted Sunday. I definitely having like an overnight card. But we
Thankfully,
might,
fucking
we
not.
might, we might.
If you're in the
Like
East Coast,
if it
maybe.
goes distance, we might have this. Like if every fight ends in the distance, the fight card will end in the West Coast at midnight and 3 a.m. for the East Coast.
That would be
That's
tough.
gonna happen. That's gonna happen. That's gonna happen.
Whoa. I want to see some finishes.
All right. Anyways, thank you so much to everybody who tuned in. We will be back next week. I believe next Monday, affirmatively, we will be back because this card is too freaking tough not to talk about. There's so much, of course, on MMA orbit that was, of course, said. I follow, of course, good page there. And Padilla said that he was okay with not getting the bonus. But still, we do want to see people get these damn bonuses. But also,
Yeah.
besides that, we saw some cuts from the Muhammad Mohayev tells Hawani that Hunter Campbell and McMahon wished him good luck before and congratulated him after his knockout win.
Yeah.
He
Where the
will
fuck
be
is
in
he? Bring him
attendance.
back.
He will be in attendance at UFC Qatar next week, supporting his close friend Shamil Ghaziyev and watching his former opponent Alex Perez. Khabib has named the 3 fighters he would like for Umar Nurmagomedov to fight before he retires, including Petr Yan, Murad Dvalishvili, and Sean O'Malley. I believe we already saw the Murad fight, unless I'm fucking
Yeah.
dick.
Mm-hmm.
But
He wants that rematch.
Islam has never been defeated by an Oceanic fighter. He submitted Jan Hooker. He beat Volkanovski by decision and then knocked out Volkanovski afterwards.
Revenge
Herb
time.
Dean has revealed that MMA officials have agreed to enforce immediate point
Yeah.
deductions for
I saw that
fighters
shit.
who extend their fingers towards opponents. While the rule has been in place for years, many referees have admitted to being lenient in enforcing it.
I'm like, what? I'm like, so you just don't
Crazy.
like you just don't enforce the rules.
They're like,
What is this shit?
wow, you got hit with 3 nut strikes. I'm not pulling the
Bro,
point.
what? This has been a rule for years, but we're gonna actually start enforcing it. I'm like, why is that even a rule if you're not enforcing it, you dumbasses? For real, bro. I'm like, come on, bro.
Islam
Come on.
Islam Makhachev named off his top 5 pound-for-pound fighters, going from Ilia Topuria 5, Volkanovski 4, 3 Aspinall, 2 Pantoja, and number 1 him.
Volk above is Aspoya is interesting, I must say, but I guess that's one way of looking at it.
If anything, I do Aspinall, Volk, Topuria, Pantoja, and Islam. Even I didn't put maybe Pantoja over,
This is
but
getting disrespected, facts, dude.
yeah, like my God, but like. Of course, this is going to be very, very exciting, a very exciting card. All 10 athletes competing on the card will be at the pre-fight press conference on Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That should be a lot of fun.
Let's go.
Before we do go, Leon Edwards said Ian Machado Gary's biggest achievement in the sport is losing to Shavkat Rakhmonov, saying that's facts. His greatest achievement is that he can't brag because he didn't get finished.
Yeah, that is pretty funny how Ian Gary always brings that up like it was a win. I'm like, you lost, bro.
I know. Like, I want to see them fight already. Leon, Ian, let's go. That's how that happened. But of course, thank you so much to everybody who tuned in. We will be back next week with more drama, more action, and more thrills and agony from both sides. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm coming for those predictions too. You know, Rami's going down, guys. I got you. You know, we all want to see it. Rami's been winning a little too much. We want to see the underdog here.
All right, man. Man. But anyways, thank you so much, everybody. We will see you next week. This has been another edition. I am your host, Rami Afif. That's Max, as always. Thank you so much, everybody. We will see you next week. Thank you.
Thank you.